What's up, Breaker Army? Welcome back to another Collector's Perspective discussion video. This time we're going to be talking about the new alternate arts that Konami's trying to do. Now, alternate arts within Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not something that's entirely new. We've obviously had alternate art since the very beginning with cards like Dark Magician, Red Eyes, Blue Eyes, all different stuff in our past. I do think this is something that Konami can do to try and maybe salvage some of the relationship that the community, the collectors have. Obviously, players don't really care all that much because the effects are the same, which is fine. I'm totally fine the effects are the same because obviously they would have to be, but the collectors need something, guys. We really do. Us collectors need something to hold on to, and I do think that coming out with new alternate arts, or even, you know, I've talked about in my other video before, that full arts and things like that may or may not be the saving grace that Yu-Gi-Oh! Needs and Konami should give us, but it is something that is different that a lot of other TCGs are doing. Look at, obviously, Pokemon, Magic, Dragon Ball, the new Gundam TCG that's coming out, One Piece. What do they all do? They all do full arts. Now, this video is not going to be about full arts. I just have to obviously talk about that because this video is about the new alternate arts that are coming out in Stampede and the new quarter century art collection in Japan. So we're going to dive into some of those images. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I do want to know your guys' honest opinions and thoughts on if Yu-Gi-Oh! Is in a good spot right now, if things are going to potentially be good, where you're at as a collector, what you guys, again, want to hear me talk about in the future videos. I kind of thought about this because I've just been seeing a lot of these alternate arts pop up on like Instagram, things like that. And I'll shout out everybody who like videos and, you know, not necessarily videos, but pictures we're going to look at. And of course, I'll give credit to all of those who've put in the work, because this isn't my work, you know, I'm not going to try and steal their stuff. So let's dive in and see what new arts are coming out. All right, the first person we're going to take a look at is Respect Yu-Gi-Oh! On Instagram. So shout out to them for putting this all together. I found this as a post on Reddit, but then I saw that they had everything linked down below on the bottom, so we're going to click on that. So the first thing is the quarter century art collection. So some of you have probably seen this. If you follow like Yu-Gi-Oh! News, obviously Respect Yu-Gi-Oh! Things like that, you'll see a lot of these arts that have come up. So what we're looking at first is going to be the main, I believe, is the core set for quarter century art collection, but there's going to be some alternate arts obviously in this one. So as you guys can see here on the screen, there's going to be all the different cards that are in here. Now, I don't think every card is going to have an alternate art, but most of them will. So there's the first page, here's the second page. So this is just kind of like a quick look like at all this stuff. And then we're going to go on to YuGiohOrganization.com and check out some of the teasers and some of the cards they have. Some are on here, not all of them, but we'll just take a look at everything. So first thing we're going to see is an effect veiler. So most of us are like used to seeing, I'll try and pop it up on the screen, like what effect veiler looks like. So this is the new alternate art that's coming out, which honestly is really cool. I don't really know like what effect veiler does in the lore or what relation it has in the lore, but that's kind of cool. I like this artwork. And then the next one is Nibiru. This one is freaking awesome. Check this out. So I didn't know this, but Nibiru was not the rock. It was what was inside of the rock. And we kind of learned that from the most recent Mega Tins. It was the Dueling Mirror Tins, I think, where I forget what it is. It's Nibiru something something. But there is a new version of Nibiru that came out in those tins. So this is pretty cool. This is a really exciting new artwork. And then we have some more stuff from the Familiar Possessed. This is Asa. Awesome. We got Area here. We take a look at her. We've got the Familiar Possessed Hita. I actually really like this artwork. Look, she's being eaten by her wolf. And then we've got Wind, the Wind Charmer, Channeler. I think she's also Gentle. I think she's got so many different versions. And we've got Lina. This artwork's actually really cool. I'm a big fan of the Familiar Possessed artworks. Like, I'm not a big like waifu type person, but I like what is Yu-Gi-Oh! And I feel like that is Yu-Gi-Oh! Because this comes back like, what was it? I think the Lost Millennium, Cybernetic Revolution, Elemental Energy, one of those, something like that from way back in the day. And now some of these cards we've already seen. We've already seen the alternate arts for Ghost Ogre, already seen the alternate arts for Ghost Reaper, Ash Blossom, Ghost Bell. We saw a lot of these with Maximum Gold that came back a while ago, and then I think it was the Prismatic Art Collection that came back in Japan like 2020, give or take, maybe earlier. We've got Ghost Mourner, we've got Droll and Lockbird, which we've had this in Bonanza already. We've already had Fantastical Dragon Phantasme alternate art, Glamour Unicorn, Apollosa. This is the same artwork for DD Crow. I think this was this the Lost Art? No, I can't remember. I think we got an alternate art for Trap Checks for Felicia. I can't really remember. We got Foolish Burial, Awakening of the Possessed, Triple Tactics Thrust, don't really know why. So this is an alternate art. We're going to quickly just kind of scroll through here. Okay, so that is the end of this particular page. Now we're going to go to another page called, this is Yu-Gi-Oh! News. So they've kind of shared some of the same stuff. We'll take a look at some of these artworks, but the first one, obviously, that is freaking epic This is Chimera Tech Over Dragon, or Chimera Tech, I guess, Rampage Dragon is what it is. So this is, you guys can see here, if you don't follow these pages, go ahead and support them because they continually put out all this news. So you'll see, like, I'll do a quick scroll through their page. So they've just got everything, you know, that's on here. So teaser, we're going to get to one of those in just a minute. But this is the alternate art for Lightning Storm. So freaking awesome. So cool. I'm really excited to get this. And again, guys, let me know what your thoughts are on alternate arts. I think it's one of the best things that Konami should do. Now, where I think alternate arts can get really tricky, and what they cannot do, they cannot reprint like these alternate arts to oblivion. I'm okay with every so often like a higher rarity, but to just like, so if they come out with these alternate arts, like say in, some of them are coming in Stampede, someone might be in like the tins for this year, or whatever they might be. They just can't reprint them to oblivion. Like, what makes alternate arts so awesome to collect is the scarcity, the rarity, the chase. But when you just print them into oblivion, that just doesn't make them worth it. Like, it really doesn't. So that is one thing that, like, that's just my opinion. Again, you guys can let me know your opinions down below. And then our next one, this is cool. This is a pot of, I think this is Pot of Extravagance. Yeah, Pot of Extravagance. So we've got, see if we can take a closer look at this one. So here's a closer look at the Pot of Extravagance. I believe these are the, oh my god, the Eldritch monsters or something like that. I think so. Yeah, so the artwork features Eldritch the Golden Lord and 2 golden servants rising from the Pot of Extravagance. That's just so cool. I don't really care too much about Eldritch, like all the artworks and stuff, but this is just cool to see the different side of the Pot of Extravagance. And then the next one is the Call by the Grave. So this is cool because this is Live Twin and what is this? Live Twin Kiss a Kill and Live Twin Lilla. So we're going to try and click through this one again, so that way we can actually see these a little bit closer. So we've got Live Twin. This is like they're playing a video game. Like, it's a completely different alternate art, but this is neat. This is different. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, like this is a simp territory. You know, this isn't going to be like catered to a lot of the adults. Like, there are a lot of kids that collect and play this stuff, and so to see the obviously the more extreme Yu-Gi-Oh version with the regular Called by the Grave artwork, and then they have this over here on the side being the alternate art, I think it's really cool. Like, I think it's unique. I think it's different. It's something that Konami needs. Clearly, this person says it's kind of disappointing, which is just really funny. But to each their own. You know, obviously they're not gonna, you know, appease everybody. So it is what it is. Our next one we've got is Lady Labyrinth of the Silver Castle. Don't really care too much about the Silver Castle and the Labyrinth cards, but I do think this artwork is cool, and they actually touched on something really unique that I did not know this card actually featured. So this is pretty neat. Of course, we're gonna try and maybe collect that one. This is the Diabell Star, the Black Witch. This is awesome. So a couple people have pointed out she is censored in the TCG. You guys can obviously see probably why here. This little bit's right here. So she will probably be censored in the TCG. We might get her in a Lost Art, and I'm okay with that because this, I like the vibe. I like the Dark Witch vibe, things like that. So very, very cool with that one. And this is a little blown up version. So you guys can see why it's probably censored in the TCG side. And then here's the big one. This is the most epic freaking artwork that Konami, I think, has ever done. So here's the regular Zeus, Divine Arsenal AA Zeus, Sky Thunder, and then we have the new alternate art, and we got to blow this up and just to see perspective. Look at this. Look at this artwork. This is unreal. Absolutely unreal. I think he's trying to fight the Sky Crisis, the Typhon, the Sky Crisis. So this is so freaking cool, guys. I cannot wait to collect this. I hope, like, in a way, like, obviously Zeus is meant to be a very playable card. So this is probably going to be, you know, fairly abundant. Maybe, I don't know, 1 per box or something like that for the Quarter Century Art Collection. But in a way, I hope they keep this kind of limited, because this, again, like, my point with having alternate arts is to kind of keep them a little bit chasey. Not like extreme, where they're like limited serialized numbers. There's a time and a place for that, you know, for everything. But for these particular sets, I do think they need to keep them a little bit more rare. That way, it just creates a little bit more chase. So, like, you can say, hey, I'm going to be ripping this box for this specific alternate art, even though you may get, like, the regular artwork inside of that box. So, very, very cool. And then here is the references on the, what is it, Lady Labyrinth of the Silver Castle. So, I don't know all of them. This is Ariana, Ariane, and then I don't remember the name of these two. But they're the witches, like, on the side, and so she's like soulless and lifeless or something like that. So I don't really know. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here, but something happened. Obviously, they're all gray, they're all silvered out, and something happened. But it is, I do like the artwork. I think that is kind of unique. It's something different. Again, I think alternate arts are one of the coolest things. We're gonna go back to, I think it was the Respect Yu-Gi-Oh. Where is he at? So we're going to go here because they had something really cool. So this is just a reference to the Sky Crisis, the Typhon. So Konami is coming out with an animated series here sometime soon. They showed us a teaser with Zeus blasting off right here. So we can only assume that he's going against the Typhon, and I cannot wait for that. You know, this video isn't about the anime, but this is just some freaking epic artwork, guys. I cannot wait. Look at this card. Like, if that's how that's obviously probably how it's going to look, but if that's how it's going to look on the actual card when we get it for the cardboard, that's going to be freaking sick. I'm going to have at least a playset of that one. Before we get too far ahead, I do want to touch on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Stampede set that's coming out, the Quarter Century Stampede. Going back to Yu-Gi-Oh! News' page because we got to check out some of this stuff. So there is the Fallen of Albaz. Clearly this person doesn't agree with it. The throwing up unicorn is just too funny. I don't remember if we've got this artwork before. I don't think we have. It looks kind of familiar though. Maybe in like the OCG side. Maybe it's now coming to the TCG. And then here is Sky Striker Ace Ray. I like this artwork. I really do. Sky Strikers I think look freaking cool. You know, I'm not too big on, you know, the simping and waifu type stuff. So I do like that it's a simplistic, like they're actual true warriors, things like that. So this is going to be really cool. I'm going to try and collect that one. Here is my favorite one that's coming to Stampede is the Dark Magician. This is the one that I missed out on the Quarter Century, what was it? Unity side, if I'm not mistaken. Quarter Century Unity. I know there was a Unity and a Pride that had Dark Magician Girl, Red Eyes, and Blue Eyes. So this one is sick. This is my favorite art style for Dark Magician. The purplish, the red, the green skin tone looks so awesome. So very cool. So that's going to be exciting to collect that one. And then there is I don't think it's an alternate artwork. This is one of the other alternate arts. So we're getting Access Kotaker. This is a really cool artwork as well. Access Kotaker on its own already looked really nice. But this is a freaking sick artwork. He's just like charging, ready to go for battle. So that one's pretty cool. And then we've got, I think, a couple others. Yeah, we've got the Incredible Glacia the Virtuous. This, again, another nice one where it's not overly, like, waifuified, if that makes sense. We're not trying to make it where we're all just, like, oohing and awing over these cards. We actually want to enjoy the artwork and not just be drawn into it because of other reasons. So that's why, like, you know, I don't collect a ton of, like, female cards, I guess you could say. Or like what appears to be a female, like we're trying to bait trap and get guys to look at this card because, oh, it's a female, it's waifu, it's simping, it's this, it's that. No, like I like the artwork just because it's freaking cool. Like it doesn't have to be just because it's a female and I'm a guy. That's not why. So, but no, this is really cool. That's a hot take. You can either take it or leave it. It is what it is. That's just how I feel about it. And then we've got, I think, one more to share for the alternate arts. Yes, Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. So you can see, you know, some replies here on Instagram from some of these people, but this, I'm actually going to close that because that's kind of weird. It's repeating. But we do have the Chaos Max Dragon. Let's see. Can I open this? I think I can open it in a different page. Let's go to the post. So it should make, yeah, it's a little bit bigger. So this is the Chaos Max Dragon. This looks pretty nice. It reminds me of the Blue Eyes alternate artwork they gave us for the Quarter Century Pride. I don't know if I like the extended like belly kind of whatever you want to call it. I just think I think there's better ways they could have depicted Chaos Max. Only because Chaos Max on its own in the original artwork was amazing. Like there's very few ways they could have topped that artwork, and I don't think this is it. This might be one of the alternate artworks, and I'm just like, it's kind of mid. It could definitely be better. It's not terrible because I like having options for the artworks, but again, I do think they could have done a lot better job with this specific one. But I think that is going to be all for the alternate artworks that we're getting in Stampede. At least that's what's been revealed so far. But let me know, guys, what your opinions are on the full arts. Are they, you know, on the alternate arts? There's so many different things that Konami can do. Some of the stuff that they're already doing. Some of the things they've done in the past that have been successful. Again, look at the alternate arts for Dark Magician Girl. The one from the tins way back in the day. What, 2004, 2003, whatever year it was that came out in the tins. Not the best artwork for Dark Magician Girl, but it's retained value over all these years because it was an alternate artwork. It wasn't printed into the ground. I think there's only been 2 printings, you know, what came out in Bonanza and then what came out from the tin. So if Konami just does that, they keep things simple. I do think that's where they can kind of shine, keep collectors happy, because at the end of the day, like, yes, not all of us collect this for monetary gain, monetary value, and to be like investors, but you can't deny when you collect this stuff, you don't like to see it. You don't like to spend $15 on a card and it crash down to $5. You want to be like, okay, this is a sound, safe kind of like investment. But, you know, there's also that other side of things where it's like, okay, if I invest $1,000 into this and it crashes to 500, but I still love the game, I'm not going to sell my stuff. I'm not upset. And that's kind of where I am. Like, but at the same time, I just like my stuff to retain value, if that makes sense. Like, I'm never going to sell my stuff unless I absolutely have to. So I am a collector all the way through. There's been a lot of cards that I've bought and paid full value. Like, actually, I'll show you a prime example. This Illusion of Chaos, you know, probably not going to come up very clear, but back when this card came out, I paid over $200 raw as a Starlight Rare. They reprinted it as a quarter century rare. It went down to $40. Did I ever sell my Starlight Rare when the price started to drop? No, I kept it. I was not going to sell it. I loved the card too much. So anyways, I'm not going to ramble anymore. Let me know your guys' thoughts on alternate arts. Do you think it's something that Konami should continue to do? Do you think we should get more? Let me know what else you guys want me to hear talk about, because this is a collector's perspective. You know, there could be something from a player's perspective, or you guys out there in the community. I do have to give a massive shout out to my channel members: Sargoni YT, K-Dragon, Mark Donnelly, Cody Slater, Josh Evans, Michael P. Sutton, Lazy Dane, Evan Rudolph, Allison Snell, Will Breaks TCG, Ram22, Roland Pryor, Austin and Kayla, Ghost King TCG, Capiba, Derek Williams, King Louie, Toe and Foe Show, Battle Phase, and Opening Act. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel. I do hope you have a nice day. Hope you have a nice night. I will see you guys in the next one. This is CardBreaker. I'm out.